Oh, I heard that. That's
Mic check 1 2 3 4 5 6.
Right now at 5.
Just when you thought winter was in the rearview mirror, I'm tracking spring snow for some. The timeline next.
Plus, a brutal beatdown caught on camera.
I'm praying that I get my job back.
A bus driver attacked and fired and fighting to get his job back. And school bus safety.
Are they morons? Do they not care about little kids?
The crackdown on dangerous drivers blowing by buses. March Madness rolls right into April. A super send-off in stores as the Yukon women head to the Final Four.
Live from WFSB, Connecticut's #1 local news. This is Channel 3 Eyewitness News at 5.
First at 5 o'clock, we start with breaking news. Eyewitness News has confirmed that former Hartford Mayor Eddie Perez is going to run again.
We've heard rumblings for weeks, but tonight it is official. A close Perez supporter told me a short time ago the former mayor will run and plans to make his comeback announcement on Thursday.
Yeah, we broke the news first less than an hour ago with this breaking news push on the Channel 3 app and on Facebook that former Mayor Eddie Perez is expected to announce he is running for mayor again.
Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Matthew Campbell is live in the capital city outside the Arch Street Tavern with what we are learning about this. Tonight, big news, Matthew.
Yeah, Dennis, and right here, this is where Eddie Perez is expected to formally announce that he is once again running for mayor of Hartford. Now, we started digging into this after we got this text from multiple sources. You can read it right here. It says Eddie Perez is running for mayor. Join us at his press conference this Thursday, April 4th at 5 p.m. at the Arch Street Tavern. Now, Perez himself nor his aides are talking, but we have since independently confirmed that indeed an event is scheduled right here, Arch Street Tavern, 5 o'clock on Thursday, and that reservation has been made by somebody connected with Perez, and that space is reserved for 150 people. Now, this announcement is expected to be very controversial because of Perez's criminal past. 9 years ago, he pleaded guilty to bribery and extortion. He was found guilty of demanding renovations to his kitchen and a bathroom from a contractor working for the city. Now, ultimately, Perez was spared prison time and was given an 8-year suspended sentence. Now, ultimately, that conviction was overturned. Perez, a Democrat, was Hartford mayor from 2001 to 2010. And again, we have learned he will be making a push to lead the city once again with that announcement coming right here, Arch Street Tavern, on Thursday at 5 o'clock. Now, coming up at 6, we are expected to hear from current mayor Luke Bronin. We reached out to him about 2 hours ago, and we're hoping to hear back soon. For now, that is the latest live here in Hartford. Matthew Campbell, Channel 3 News.
All right, today we had sunshine most of the day, but now the clouds have closed in as a storm is moving up the coast in our direction. All right, let's take a look at our iCams. Hartford, you can see that the skies become rather cloudy, and those clouds will continue to thicken as we go through the evening hours. It's mostly cloudy in New Haven as well, but there's no rain, there's no snow in the state right now. Temperatures reach the low 50s in parts of Connecticut today, but now we're dropping back through the 40s. New London is 41, Litchfield is also 41, Wallingford is 46, and in Hartford it's 47 degrees. So we'll drop back through the 40s this evening, dropping into the 30s later on tonight. many places staying above freezing. We also have a pretty good south to southeasterly breeze as high as 15 miles an hour. Winds are locked, and Groton has an easterly wind at 12 miles an hour in advance of the storm that's moving up the coast. So you can see the clouds have moved in. Rain spotty off the New Jersey coast, but the main batch of this storm is still to our south. Some very heavy rain along the North Carolina coast. Now, this storm is going to be moving up to the northeast off the coast of New England and will catch the western fringe of it. It's not going to be a direct hit, but we will likely see some precipitation from it. So cloudy skies at 7 o'clock this evening on Futurecast. By midnight, rain is going to be moving in across southern and southeastern Connecticut. And then as we go into the pre-dawn hours, not much precipitation in western Connecticut, but rain from Hartford on east, perhaps even some snow in the higher elevations of northeastern Connecticut. It may leave a coating on the grassy surfaces, but for most of us, it's in the form of rain. Then the storm quickly moves out. That's 7 o'clock in the morning, and by afternoon, we have plenty of sunshine. But once the storm moves away, we're going to see some gusty winds develop and also some mild temperatures, too. We'll talk about that in 10 minutes.
Okay, Bruce, thank you very much. We are following a traffic alert for you tonight. Be prepared for some heavy delays on I-95 in Groton. The highway will be shut down for 2 hours starting at 6 p.m. for utility repairs. A crane installing signs hit power lines in the area early this morning. It caused power outages in town and even forced schools to close for the day. The highway will be closed until around 8 p.m. tonight between exits 87 and 88.
Also new tonight, this.
I'm sorry that it happened, but to go to the extent and fire me.
Violent video of a bus driver attacked by a passenger tonight. That driver is speaking out. The veteran CT Transit driver ended up being fired after his bosses say he crossed the line. Channel 3 New Haven Bureau Chief Matt McFarland is live now with more on this driver's plea to get his job back. Matt?
Well, Dennis, the video is wild. Now, this attacker is locked up and he remains in jail. Meanwhile, this bus driver is out of a job. Connecticut Transit says it's not because he fought back. Rather, they say it's because of what he did after he defended himself.
He took a couple of Derek Jeter swings and then he jumped on me.
Stefan Knox says he now has a dent above his right eye, right where William Horn whacked him with a cane while on his bus back in early March. Knox, who says he's worked for Connecticut Transit for 19 years, was at the end of the line near Dixwell and Whitney in Hamden when he says Horn refused to get off.
I told the guy, you know, this is the end of the line, I'm going into the garage. He replied to me, F you, I'm gonna blow up the world.
So Knox says he drove to the bus lot on State Street, and when he told Horn he had to get off, that's when he attacked him, with Knox fighting back.
I jumped on him. I got out of the bus.
The camera later shows Horn hopping into the driver's seat to try to drive off. A few minutes after the initial attack, and with Horn now in the middle of the road, Knox runs back, hitting him with a flying kick and getting a few more punches in before a supervisor moves him away.
Watching the video now, I know I did wrong. You know, I wish I could bring it back.
In a statement, Connecticut Transit told us Knox rightfully defended himself in the bus, but it's what happened next that went too far. Quote, unfortunately, after the incident had been de-escalated and the bus operator had left the area while police were en route, the operator chose to return and physically re-engaged his assailant without provocation. Physically engaging the assailant the second time was inappropriate and dangerous. In fact, the termination letter says because that second incident wasn't self-defense, it's a Category 1 violation, calling for Knox to be fired. He argues he had concussion-like symptoms following the attack and doesn't remember much about going back after Horn.
You could have easily said, you know, because I'm saying I do not remember certain things, you're suspended without pay. I'm not asking for charity. I'm not asking for this, that, and other. I want my job back.
Now, Horn is charged with breach of peace and assault. The union that represents the bus drivers say that they're calling for safer work environment, saying that Knox was unjustifiably terminated. And Knox tells me that they will be going ahead and grieving his termination. We're live with the mobile newsroom. Matt McFarland, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Wow, that video is crazy. Matt, thank you very much. All new tonight for you at 5 o'clock. Cracking down on drivers passing school buses. One town is now saying enough is enough.
Last month alone, police in Waterford caught 77 people in the act. Channel 3 New London Bureau Chief Kevin Hogan is live in the Whaling City with all the details. Kevin.
Well, Dennis and Aaron, you know, the local school bus drivers, they're going to tell you they see it every day. It happens more than we know. they just count that there's so many, their lights go on, they come to a stop, the side stop sign flashing light will come out, and somebody will pass them. Is it distracted driving? Is somebody too much in a hurry? Well, in this town, it'll cost you a $470 fine. Drivers not stopping for stopped school buses is an ongoing problem for Waterford bus drivers. Last month, bus drivers counted 77 drivers illegally passing their stopped bus, lights deployed and all.
It seems to be a problem on every road, whether it's a 4-lane road or a 2-lane road. It seems to be more occurrences in the larger roads, of course.
Route 85 is a large road, and this afternoon, an officer stopped a vehicle who apparently failed to stop for a stopped school bus. Parents tell me they see it all the time.
Even when the bus stops and they have the stop sign, I see people blow right by us.
Waterford's school bus fleet has one bus that is equipped with a side-mounted camera that can capture evidence of drivers who fail to stop. It is a state law. Vehicles must stop for a stopped school bus. Violators can get a written warning or a summons, which could cost $470. The law reads you shall immediately bring such vehicle to a stop not less than 10 feet from the front when approaching and not less than 10 feet from the rear when overtaking or following any registered school bus. Drivers' biggest complaint to Waterford police: the school buses make too many stops. The answer from parents?
Then you should have left earlier or a little bit later or taken a different route.
If you know that you're behind a bus, you just have to leave a little earlier. Kids' lives are precious.
Now, in 2017, the National Legislature organization claims that 104,000 school bus drivers across the country, in one day, they identified at least 78,000 drivers passing their buses. Now, this crackdown here in Waterford, this is going to continue all week long. Live at the Mobile Newsroom in Waterford, Kevin Hogan, Channel 3, Eyewitness News.
Yes.